and someone with 200 followers takes a picture of you and then they share it, that like kind of makes their day and they love that. So getting featured by someone who has that big of a following is nice for them.
We interrupt this program to bring you this important message. Welcome to Marketing Interruption, a daily podcast powered by BlueTuskr that interrupts your day with marketing news, tips and strategies from an entrepreneur who lives and breathes marketing. Now, let the interruption begin with your host, Andrew Maff.
Hello and welcome to episode number 58 of the Marketing Interruption podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Maff, and today I'm talking to you about how to get more user-generated content, or UGC, or whatever it is you call it, and then of course how to leverage it. So this is a very common thing that is extremely beneficial for a lot of e-commerce sellers, and it's also very easy to get and easy to leverage for certain sizes. Some of the smaller sellers that we work with, it's a little bit more difficult. Obviously you need the volume behind this, and it's also sometimes difficult depending on the product line you sell. So for example, we've done transcription headsets and keyboards and stuff like that, and getting people to post pictures of that stuff it's not happening. So there's certain times where this can work better. Now, that could still work if you're doing it more of an influencer side, or maybe not an influencer side, but you're doing it more on a there was this big court case and the transcriptionist was using our headset or some shit. Like, it's a bit of a stretch. But for other things, I mean, I've mentioned the collegiate apparel guy we've done before. We've done God knows how much stuff with pet products at this point. Beauty, health, that whole thing is easy for UGC. So there's a lot of ways to get it. The easiest ways are social media, hashtags, getting tagged and stuff. We've actually made it a habit now where one of the automated emails that we set up almost every time once we're starting to work with someone is what we call a UGC request, where essentially, depending on the product line, but usually between 7 to 10 days after someone has purchased a product, we'll send out an automated email saying, we hope you're enjoying it. If you have any questions, let us know. We would love to feature you on our social media. Please feel free to take a picture or a video and use our hashtag or tag us on social media. For a while we started to do it where we would offer people stuff just to do it, discounts or free whatever. And it was interesting because we found that people still would do it even if we didn't offer them anything. And it really became an eye-opening thing where we learned that essentially people just want to be featured. They just want recognition. And then if you have a big enough page where you have like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers, and someone with 200 followers takes a picture of you and then they share it, that like kind of makes their day and they love that. So getting featured by someone who has that big of a following is nice for them. So we've actually made that pretty easy. So all we did was set up an automated email to do that. Now, if you want to do something a little bit deeper, you can do a retargeting ad where you actually run an ad after a purchase and you essentially just say, hey, we know you purchased with it recently. Comment below with a picture of whatever, and every Friday we're going to pick our favorites and the winner's going to get X or something like that. Getting the content is relatively simple. Of course, you have reviews. So if you have something like Yotpo, where they can actually take a picture along with their review, or even take a video along with their review, then you have all of that available as well. Typically, you want to reach out to them, make sure that you can in fact use that, but it's already on your site, so most of the time they don't care. So that's a lot of extra ways that you can get that content. Now, leveraging it is great. It should all be reused on your site in any way that you can. If it's a very visual product, we usually suggest doing some kind of live feed on your website of an Instagram feed or something like that, where people can actually see that, which is actually another thing that Yotpo offers. Then doing it in emails, doing it for social media. Some of our smaller sellers who don't want to go into the big investment and jump off that cliff of creating custom, like beautiful content with like videographers and photographers and all that stuff, they can actually just completely run their social media off other people's posts where they don't even make their own content in certain cases, which is a great way to save money if you don't want to put the money into social media right away, which I wouldn't recommend, but is also something you could do. So a lot of ways to get it, a lot of ways to leverage it. It is a great tool because it seems to the average consumer that you're not trying to trick them into purchasing them with big fancy videos and photographs and trying to make it all beautiful and cool. You're actually showing a more natural, your product in its natural habitat kind of thing. So it's a great way to actually kind of personalize that purchasing process. So again, UGC, set it up. Highly suggest it. If you can get some, do it. And of course, you could also leverage influencers stuff too if they send it to you. But influencers are a whole different podcast, and I'm going to get cranky for that one. So anyway, rate, review, subscribe. See y'all tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us for today's Marketing Interruption. Make sure to rate, review and subscribe to the show. And don't forget to email marketinginterruption@bluetuskr.com with any marketing questions you'd like to have answered on the show. And head over to marketinginterruption.bluetuskr.com to catch up on past episodes. Until next time, we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.